Okay, time to get started. What's going on here? I have the... I have reverted some changes I made. For, I guess, reasons that we'll get to. But I spent a while working on scaling, and especially non-uniform scale, so that I could do animations like this. Boom. Guess you can do a little squish animation, stretch animation, and it works well enough, except actually even this doesn't work, so got a few bugs with it. But when I run the game, you do get to see a slow compilation, but every time the runner lands, she squishes. And that's nice. Well, okay, most times the runner lands. Not all of them, not at all. And that is a separate, unrelated bug. And so that's all well and good, and there is a slight body... well, slight other effects. But what there isn't at the moment, because I removed it, is I decided I wanted the arms to, that the arms were supposed to be, like, a little spread out. Check that. Maybe this one. Okay, I definitely need to work on the weighting. You know what? I will just do this. Maybe the entire arm is supposed to be wider. It's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. And, you know, while I'm at it, I'll go do that over here, too. So, there. Wait. Oh, I have... Much better. I've gone and exaggerated the arm so that you can see it. Again, not final. Most of this is not final. But I go export and I compile again, and you will see that it doesn't match up. So here we're getting to the bug that I have to debug. The arms, during the running animation, are very long. And not tall. It's totally off. And why is it totally off? It's as if I, instead of setting that value to 1.5, I set not that value either. It's as if I set that value to 1.5. So here you see on the right is what it looks like in-game, and on the left is what I was trying to make. Neither of them are ideal, but I would at least like the game to match what I do in Blender. So what's wrong here? The Y value is getting, like, I set an X value and it ends up assuming it's a Y value. Why is that? Well, for better debugging, I want to track down the problem and figure out what my code is seeing. So I'm going to use a unique value that won't come up by accident. 1.567 probably doesn't appear anywhere else. And likewise, I will put that value here. Actually, no, I will put a separate value. Yeah, I'm getting that a lot nowadays. Blurst runner, or cursed, or pretty much anything when the animation goes wrong is automatically at least a bit cursed. And I'm not worried about the cursed nature of it, I'm worried about the fact that it's cursed in a different way than how it is in Blender. I want it to be cursed in the same way. So I'm I'm just going to type out a lot of code. I want to capture the moment where it finds a value of 1.567. And then display what it thinks each value is. So I don't even need to... Oh, right, I almost forgot. It's, I need to allow some leniency. Because it's not an exact value. Because it gets converted to a matrix and then back from a matrix. So it's only accurate to, like, 1 in 100. Yeah, there are actually a bunch. So X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. And yeah, there are like 32 copies because it's a 32 frame animation. And X, Y, Z are in fact correct. I better know what it is, actually. Now that I've confirmed that, what's going on here is that it's the rotation. Because I guess you can see the y-coordinate is up and down on that one, but on this one the y-coordinate is side to side. So in fact the y-coordinate, when I mess with the y-coordinate, 1, 2, it extends along the direction that it's already facing in. And I bet the code just ignores that. So I can fix a lot of things by going into where it actually uses, and I think I have it open here somewhere. Yes, I have it open. Where it actually uses the scale. And oh, I really don't know what order to do things in. So that's going to take some testing. I think it's going to be easier to just guess and check than to work out logically what order the operations should be in. The important thing is that we take well, actually, maybe we do it just once in here. Pose dot get this quaternion, and I think it might have does it have a function for... It has a function for rotate point. Rotate point. So I guess our first order of business is to simply try this. And it messes everything up. Yeah, that might have been too easy. Now it's a question of... yeah, I can't tell why that's wrong. But man, it's not going to help there either. I guess let's look at it in Blender. This doesn't have a rotation. That doesn't have a rotation. So... question, does the object mode, does this object have a rotation? 0, 0, 0. No, it does not. Oh, that's... okay. Does that object have a rotation? 0, 0, 0. No, it does not. Does this armature? No. Then why is that the case? Okay, so I guess we've got a mystery in Blender. The z-axis in seeding coordinates is straight up and down. And I wonder if I can view it. Maybe not. Sure, there's a setting for that, but I don't know where. Oh, maybe in here. Aha, there it is. Okay. Z-axis, this blue one, is straight up and down. And so in theory, if we move something along the z-axis or scale it along the z-axis, it should follow the blue line, but it doesn't. Local. Oh, that's not it. So somewhere along the line, this is in a coordinate space. where the z-axis is this y-axis, and I mean, I guess that was my intent, but okay, this point, if I... Wait, z-axis is 0. Oh. Okay, so this point does follow the, like... If I select a bunch of things and then move them along the z-axis, they do follow that blue line. So it's not... that is not the thing. Tail, z-axis. Oh. Wait, that's... Okay, whatever. Did that change? No, that didn't change a thing. Okay, weird. Yeah, in armature coordinates, things seem to be following the correct... That's complicated. Yeah, I'm moving a point straight up and down. So that's not where the problem is coming from. But within this pose, its coordinate space has been messed with. Tracking axis. I hope that's not relevant, because it doesn't... If it is, I don't know why it's causing the problem. Yeah, before I get started on debugging, you know what, I want to get that back to normal. Right, maybe it's always supposed to be the y-axis is up. Or wait, no, maybe that was it. What was I just messing with? Conveyors. Why are conveyors not in the Run 3 level editor? Mostly because I was going to wait for later, and then I got sidetracked with HTML5. Was it in here? Looking for information about that bone. Ah, that was it. Oh, and it's still editable here. Nope, that doesn't change a thing. Okay, so it's just this thing where y is meant to be along the direction that the bone's pointing. I guess that's just totally normal. New file. Add. Armature. Edit the armature. Delete the cube. Edit the armature. Edit the pose. Okay, even in a brand new file with nothing modified or edited, y is up and down. Okay. Yeah, by default it points along the z-axis, but y is the actual x. So like if I do that, then it will make sense. X will be along the x-axis, y will be along the y-axis, and z will be along the z-axis. Don't save. Okay, that's just how it is. Well, then I need to make Away3D work with that. I will deal with that later. Orientation. I actually don't know if Blender is standard or not, and that's the main problem. Do we always have to account for this, or only sometimes, or what? Wait a bit. Oh. Okay, that's honestly easy enough. So yeah, instead of doing that, I could put it here. This is still wrong, but I don't know why. Okay, you know what? We're not going to do that here right now. We're going to get some more information. Actually, I don't just want the first. I want... So, basically, I'm going to print out information about the very first two bones and then stop. Oh. I failed to do that. In any case, I printed it out on... Actually, that's way too many. Yeah, so frame 1, or frame 0, whichever, I want to print out information about this and this. What are their rotations? What are their scales? First one is rotated. That's weird. Second one is not rotated. Neither is scaled. Let's see if we can get the first to not be rotated. I don't think we did. Nope. Okay, so it wasn't that. It was... I bet it's the export. When we export Y forward Z up, to attempt to do this, it kind of just rotates this. It gives us... Okay, so I know enough about quaternions to tell you that this is a 90-degree rotation around the x-axis. So, oh, yeah, I guess. Except it's probably negative. which I account for by, like, I do my own 90-degree rotation around the x-axis to cancel that out, but it's weird that Blender felt the need to do that. Let's look at frame 32. What's going on there? 0.94, 1.05. Those are... Man, it is losing some of the scale that I told it to keep. It should be 0.9 and 1.1. It should be exaggerating this more. That's weird. And I guess it's the reason why you can barely see this effect, and it doesn't look like it squishes that much in game. It's just, it is actually off somehow. Or wait a minute. Oh no, I am off by a frame. I shouldn't be off by a frame. They should both be 0 indexed. But I'm off by a frame. Okay, so well, just to make sure. This isn't the main problem at hand, but I should be able to do this and get... Oh no. Weird. Anyway, so yeah, we got those values. And it's currently scaled along the y-axis, but we decided that that one needed to be the z-axis. Okay. Yeah, we are just going to have a very squished runner for a single frame. And I want to export that and look at how that shows up. going to look at 2 frames, one of which should be back to normal scale, and the other of which 0.5, 1.1, 1.8. And this one is pretty close to normal, but weirdly not quite. So it's and it's off in the direction, yeah, it's as if it was being skewed by the previous frame. Oh, that's because of how Blender exports it. Okay, weird, but whatever. In which case I am curious about what happens next, but as long as we're compiling, there's no rotation, which I guess I knew. Okay, the weird values are only visible within 1 frame of the other one. So I think I need to leave like 2 frames between animations from now on. As annoying as that is. So let's go fix that. I want to find, let's say, an arm. So I'm going to put in a value of 1.567. There. And now when I export, it should be exact. And I should be able to find where that arm is, or like what number that arm is, because there are, it's not exact. I was hoping it would be exact. It's a lot less typing, and I don't have to have an approximate. No, it's still not. .567 x. I exported it, didn't I? You saw me. Oh, wait. Okay, it was a bug in my code. Okay, it's number 10, and it's not exact. But number 10 is the main thing I want to know. So yeah, I'm going to now I want to get information about orientation. So give me the how is this pose rotated, and how is it scaled? So we have a scale of about 1.567, 1, 1, which is correct. And then we have a quaternion rotation. And with a quaternion that complicated, I definitely can't. Man. Oh. Oh, it's because it's not that easy to convert. Okay, that's hard to work with. Is there ever a point where it's an easy angle? Yes. Okay, so on frame 32. Let's look at frames 32 and 33. On these frames, which are the jumping frames, the rotation is very simple. So, except it's not. That's hardly a simple rotation. If it really was a simple rotation, it would be, oh, like this. It would be like this, where there's, this is about 0 because you multiply by 10 to the negative 8, so it's a scientific notation for 0.000000, maybe 0.499, and this has like 7 leading zeros. So those are basically 0. And then z is 0.8, almost 0.9, and w is 0.44. So z is non-zero, means it's a rotation around the z-axis, which it's supposed to be. The local z-axis, what it considers the z-axis. And it doesn't have any x rotation, it doesn't have any y rotation. Nice and simple. Man, the whole blurring thing is kind of annoying. But okay. And then we have a scale of about 1. So now I want to go and add a scale of 1.5. And that is actually bad at this angle because the arm pops out weirdly. But whatever. This is for testing. Oh right, I need to look at... Okay, so it keeps that the whole time. Nice. So looking at frame 33, we'll get the same results. Seem to have lost almost everyone. Kind of not a surprise given timing and subject matter. So yes, the numbers are as I expected, but man, I think I know what that is. I think I know what that is. It's well, no, it could be one of two things. Either it could be scaling along the global axis, which Blender does not support. Scales along the local axis fine, but doesn't do that. Well, okay, my mouse cursor got lost somewhere. The other option is that it's no, I don't think so. Yeah, I think it's scaling along the global axis. So what can we do about that? Maybe like that. And it's very wrong, as you can see. Even more wrong. But I don't know what's like. It's very hard to keep track of why it's so wrong. Okay, before I do that, let's go here and we're going to only mess with the one very specific one that we're specifically looking at. And get some data and take a look at. So, did it not take? That should have been looking a lot more messed up than it was. I don't know why. Like, that is really far off. So rotating around the z-axis should not change its z-scale. That's correct. Okay, but I don't actually just want to rotate this. I want the scale transformation to apply differently. Oh. Huh, you actually can't do that. Not with just these three values. And I bet that limitation is the ultimate problem. And I just want undo everything. Export. So we should be back to how we were. Wait, we're not. Squish animation isn't there, didn't I? Where'd it go? I thought I undid everything. Huh, it's not loading? It should be loading this. Oh wait, I actually want to look at squishing. Yeah, those only 4 frames. Oh, fair enough. Okay, so like that's there. Did I mess with? Oh, that's where I broke it. Okay. Now we should be back. And so wow, we are not back, not in the slightest. What did I mess up? Oh. Okay, yeah, that was silly. Should just press Control Z until it's all back to normal, rather than only part of the way back. Now we're back. Yep. Chat's pretty empty there because it's, I think because of time. This is late for a lot of people. And also maybe subject matter. I'm just looking at code and talking to myself. I mean, I'm gonna try and explain what I figured out, but it's still potentially not the most interesting. Speaking of, what I've figured out is that scaling is kind of done only along the 3 main axes in real space. So you can scale up and down as the squish animation does. You can scale side to side. Let me go into Blender and show you. You can scale up and down in real space. You can scale forward and back. You can scale side to side. You cannot actually scale like this. That's just not possible on account of how the data is stored. You have to scale this along the axis in 3D space, which Blender is actually not capable of showing, so it's very different. That may have been the problem. So I guess my next question is it Like, can and should I just be storing this data as a matrix? And I think before I answer that, I need to stash this. Okay. So with that stash done, it will be possible to come back to this state if I don't like the new one. Wait, what? In case of interpolation, the scaling value of the matrix... In case of interpolation, the scaling value of the matrix will reset, and the matrix will be normalized. That seems to be a lie. Because this line of code does not do that. But I do like the simplicity of it. I mean, that's kind of a smart thing to do, but that's documentation for something else. My guess is that was documentation from Flash, from ActionScript 3. That ActionScript 3 did something a lot more complicated. I don't know if this is it better. So now I need to figure out we actually may not need that at all. Granted, matrix rotation is a little worse than quaternion rotation, but not by much. I don't want to overcomplicate the code in order to achieve it. So much of this code will be simpler if everything just permanently stays in matrix 3D form. This is going to be a problem. Oh boy. I really don't know how I'm going to handle that, but I don't need to right now. Whoa, that is some direct quaternion manipulation. Weird name for variable. Okay, so I'll need to test this later. Oh. is really kind of weird. I don't know why it has that, but I'm keeping it. So there's a serializer, but not an unserializer. So we can write data about this, but we can't get it back. Bet the name is supposed to match. Okay. And with that, there's all that's left is the hardest part. Well, okay, no. We can put off the hardest part a little while longer. And now all that's left is the hardest part. That said, that previous part I may have gotten backwards, so I will have to go back and test. Why is this the hardest part? It's because I have to figure out what all this means. Like, I think now that we're working with matrices, it should be easy. Or, well, no, not easy. It should be simple. When I figure out what to do, it'll be a quick thing. Oh man, that's inconvenient. Our final result. It's not a matrix itself. So it says this is about converting the pose to a matrix. Well, conveniently, it already is. So that may help speed things up. Oh yeah, this function I hope to never have to call. Because it'll be slow. Okay, yeah, so eventually it just wants the data as a matrix. Great. But man, does this object really have to be one long list of things? Oh, I bet it does. I bet it does because it gets uploaded to the GPU. Any chance there is a working variable sitting around? There's not. I don't think they will like that solution. But right now I just want to implement this and see if it's correct. Because, like, I bet when I'm done I will have made a tiny mistake that translates into everything is broken. Like, that's just kind of how it goes. Convert pose to matrix. So I guess let's look at the recompose function. Not Euler angles, not angle axis. Orientation style, Euler angles. Oh, quaternion. Fair enough. Okay, so if this is the same function, or the same code, then that would explain what's going on. So, OX is orientation x, so quaternion.x. So, x minus y minus z plus w. That's not this. X times y times 2 minus z times w times 2. That's that. Oh, but scale isn't taken into account here. Maybe that's where I messed up. Yeah, I only put scale in... Oh! Maybe I'm the one at fault for why scale is so restricted, because I put it in only at the global stage. Maybe the solution was as simple as changing where scale is applied. But at this point, I'm so far along in converting to matrices that it might be fastest just to keep going. There are a lot of upsides to matrices, and I'm not seeing any particular reason why they can't be used or shouldn't be used. Like, it barely, well, it saves a little bit of space, memory, data, but not that much, because there's just so much, so many points of the process where it just converts everything to a matrix. Yeah, 16 numbers versus, well, 12, technically. Even though only 10 of those are used. Yeah, at worst, it's 25% extra memory, and it's really not that much because there's so much memory that was going to be used anyway. Sorry, not 25, 33. Whatever. 0, 1, 2, 3. Two times x times z minus 2 times w times y. X times y times 2 plus z times w times 2. Y times z times 2. X times w times 2. x times z times 2 minus y times w times 2 plus 2. So it's got a bunch of these backwards. I don't know, is that intentional? Well, not only does it have some of them backwards, it's also... like that. That is just not the same as that, as far as I can tell. Like, maybe if you guarantee that the quaternion is normalized, then it works out to the same thing, but it seems unlikely. Man, this function is not efficient either. It creates this random array and populates it with just duplicate values. But whatever. I guess they felt it was clear. Why is that there instead of being here, here, and here? Like, is the recompose function what's wrong? Cancel. So, yeah, this is tricky. Except maybe it doesn't have to be. It's clear enough that this is n is meant to be a matrix built out of the original orientation translation scale. And that's also clear enough because they left a comment that that's what they were doing. So I may just... it may be enough to just go by the comments. Whoops. Should be a J. Well, I have no idea if that's any good, but let's get this tested. First off, I missed stuff. Yeah, definitely a bad solution. That's not ideal, but we're testing it. That gets commented. That gets commented. Oh dear, I didn't take this into account. Yeah, that's fine. This, however, is tricky. Or maybe not. If I don't have to set that value, I can just read it out. Okay, any other compile errors for me? Yup. Let's see how messed up it is. Well, that's how messed up. There is no runner. That's pretty messed up. I wish I knew why. Yeah, that's not going to tell me anything. And we're going to have to restart that. I might be biting off a little more than I can chew, unfortunately. I guess it's a question of, do I want to go back to what I had and try and fix that? Or do I want to get matrices working? I'll have to think about it. Either way, it's really tricky. I think it's necessary in the end. Perhaps, like, I guess if I went back, perhaps I could get away with only scaling along the three main axes. And just find something else to do with the arms. I don't know. I want to do this right so that I can submit it and make it available to everybody. But I'd also like to get my game out, you know? It's hard to say. I do feel like this is not really a priority for other people, so that if I don't do it, no one will. Yeah. I'll think about it. I'll get back to you. But for now, see you later. And thanks for watching, those of you who stuck with it till the end.